That went well.
Well,
I
good
think I
evening,
found a way from
everyone.
the audio. I think I found a way
And
from the audio.
good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's special edition of Pilot Club Trivia Night. We got lots of questions coming your way, some prizes, some fun things like that. Serge has got, no, he's still there. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward tonight. Rules are pretty simple. I'm going to ask a question. There'll be two rounds. First round to be general questions. Second round to be sort of more of a Jeopardy round where I'll give you the answer and you got to ask me the question. Pretty straightforward. I'll ask a question, and the first person to put the correct answer in the chat. So make sure you have your chat open. Will get a point, and we'll decide at least one person's going to win some prizes. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Any questions, Serge? You go ahead.
Am I able to test the audio for the Jeopardy thing real quick, by the way?
Sure, go for it.
Do y'all hear it?
Nope.
Wow.
Still started?
Yeah, no worries. No worries about it. It's all good. It's all good.
Stuart, are we
It's worth
doing
a shot through
one?
YouTube.
Yeah, that's okay. Are we doing one winner or three? What did we decide?
I think we decide. Hang on, let me go back in the chat.
Can we do three?
We can do three. Absolutely, we can do three. I'm just gonna put hash marks. I got everyone's TPC numbers down here. I'm just gonna put hash marks by whoever gets the correct answer first, and then I'll tally them up at the end. And there might be a special round where you lose lots of points if you get the answer wrong.
I just
So,
wanted to add. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Stuart.
I'm just kidding about the last bit, or am I?
No. Just a clarification. The answers you put in the voice comms or event comms text chat, not the crew chat. All right,
Yes,
that's all.
that would be rather interesting seeing all these random answers pop up in the crew chat. Yeah, so make sure you have the event chat open. Go ahead and just type in your TPC number, and that way I can see that I have captured everyone, and that way we'll all be on the same page.
So I got here late. Just to clarify, so we're basically not responding in here. We're just using the chat box, and that's it. There's no way
Yep.
to you don't like raise your hand or anything like that, right?
Oh, you can raise your hand, but I'm not going to see it.
Gotcha.
Unless you turn your camera on.
But I've got that screen closed. I don't want to see anyone.
Oh, by the way, before we start, Serge, this is gonna be perfect practice for me for my ground train. I get to get my brain working before tomorrow.
Perfect.
You say that. I need to review. I got a check ride coming up.
Oh, I got ZTO tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Well, this is an awesome opportunity. And with that being said, here comes the first question. It's going to be a nice and simple one. And the question I have for you is, what was the nickname of the four-engine B-17 bomber planes used during World War II? All right, Benjamin, you won that one. Excellent, excellent. Okay, here comes things a little more interesting. Here's the question. A pilot starts to feel drowsy and notices that his or her vision is deteriorating. What could the pilot be suffering from? Excellent, Nick. Thank you very much. All right, and this one's a math question. After you set the heading on a cross-country flight, you notice the time, and after you pass your first checkpoint, you note that it has taken 5 minutes to cover 6 miles. What is your ground speed? You're traveling over the ground. You're traveling. You've departed, and hang on. Let me pull it. I gotta pull it back up. Sorry. You've traveled. Sorry. You've traveled 6 miles. You've traveled 5 miles in 6 minutes. What's your ground speed? Gary, that is correct. 72 miles per hour is, well, it's knots actually,
There
but
is
that's
strong
fine.
rotation just north of Wiener.
Yes, Gary,
There
that is
strong
correct.
rotation just north of Wiener.
All right, here's a little bit of meteorological question for you. When flying near the base of a cloud or ice is falling, aircraft structural ice is most likely to have the highest accumulation rate in. There's four choices here. 1, freezing drizzle. 2, freezing rain. 3, cumulus clouds with below freezing temperatures. Or 4, stratus clouds laden with moisture. Put the number down. Correct. Who was that? Andrew. Correct. Drizzle is the correct
81,990.
Brake for control.
Going back to a little more easier question, the Concorde, which was a supersonic passenger airliner, was flown by which 2 airlines? All right, Josh, you did get one correction. You did get one right, but you needed both of them, and Benjamin got it for BAC and Air France. Okay, here's a fun one. Fancy words. The term subsidence refers to the process where. All right, I'll give you some choices. The term subsidence refers to the process where 1, air rises. 2, takes place in the low pressure regions and is characterized by poor visibility. 3, air sinks and temperature increases. Or 4, where relative humidity is high. Yeah, Gary, I'm going to go with yours. Downward air is the most accurate answer. What are isogonic lines?
Hey guys.
Hey, all right, moving to the next question. The inclinometer within the turn coordinator reacts to.
It's my first time here, so I'm just trying to see what's going on.
Trivia night.
Bruce, that is correct. It is, in fact, gravity and centrifugal forces.
As somebody who just joined, FYI, so you can listen to the question and then put your answer in the event comms text channel or text box.
Okay, got it.
All right, the next question's a fun one. You're flying on a westerly heading in the northern hemisphere. When you accelerate the aircraft, what happens to the magnetic compass? Haha, Josh, you started being correct, but you did correct it. Yes, north is the correct answer. Thank you for that. All right, out of these 3 aircraft, which has wings but no motor? Helicopter, glider, blimp. Benjamin, very quick on the fingers there.
Beautiful question. Beautiful.
All right, here's a fun one. It's more in the legalities. Who is responsible for an infant in which no child restraint system is provided? And granted, this may be different in Transport Canada compared to FAA. Ruben, you are actually correct. It is the passenger. They must hold the infant securely in the passenger's arms. Even though you asked, you answered it like a question. Asking the questions too quick. I'm running short on my thing. Okay, who can describe what a vortac is? Josh, correct again. That's no fair. You're an airline pilot. VOR with TACAN capability is the correct answer. Moving to moving to the next one. All right, here's a question. It's a multiple guess question. Which of the following would not be correct when considering a run line? 1. A line of longitude or latitude are examples of a run line. 2. When drawing a line in any VFR navigation chart or sectional, a run line is always the shortest distance between 2 points. 3. The equator is a good example of a run line. Or 4. None of the above. Benjamin, very fast on the answer. You are correct. Next question. Wheel bearing often occurs during what? Looking for a more specific answer. Okay, the answer I have, sorry, that one seems to be a little off the cuff. That one is during landing after a fast approach. Sorry, is an overly fast landing on that one. No one got that one. That's okay. We'll move right on to the next one. If you could increase the weight of an aircraft in flight, what effect would this increase have on the aircraft in level flight? 1, it would increase the load factor. 2, decrease the stall speed. 3, decrease the fuel consumption. Or 4, increase the stall speed. Nick, that is correct. It does increase the stall speed. What is VX? Josh, absolutely correct. The angle of climb. Best angle of climb. And as a caveat to that, what does the best angle of climb mean? Excellent, Nick. Greatest altitude gain over a given distance. All right, next question. Here's another multiple guess question. The lubber line of a magnetic compass is supposed to be aligned to which axis of the aircraft? 1, vertical. 2, lateral. 3, longitudinal. 4, angle of incidence of the wing. Gary, very quick on the fingers there. Number 3 is correct. It is the longitudinal axis. What causes the gyroscope to act like the force was applied 90 degrees in the direction of the gyroscope's rotation? Very good, Nick. Precession is the answer. You can almost type faster than I can talk. All right, here's a fun one for those like flying circuits and aircraft in the circuit or pattern is turning from upwind to downwind. What is the illusion the pilot will feel in this case? All right, I'll narrow down the answers for you. 1, is it a slipping turn with increased airspeed? 2, a skidding turn with increased airspeed? 3, a slipping turn with decreased airspeed? Or 4, a skidding turn with decreased airspeed? And Benjamin, you are absolutely correct. It is a slipping turn with increased airspeed. Very rapidly running out of questions here. All right, who conducted the first solo across the Atlantic? Very good, Josh. It was Charles Lindbergh. What's another name for a dirigible? Dirigible. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Still looking for the correct answer. Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone got it wrong. The actual answer is a Zeppelin.
I put Zeppelin. Zeppelin's up there.
Oh, sorry, Gary. I missed
got
that.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, here's one from the old commercial exam. What of the causes of drift in heading indicators is drift due to bearing imperfections? Even with perfect bearings, however, a heading indicator will drift because of. Josh, looks like you were the first one to get that. It is in fact precession. All right, can someone tell me what differential ailerons are? And I agree, Benjamin. That was a that was a long question. Gary, you are correct.
Thanks.
But what are they used for?
Ruben got it.
All right, you both get a mark for that. All right, speaking of adverse yaw, what causes a spin? Get some partial answers in here. Someone's got to put it together. Excellent answer, Benjamin, but that is incorrect. All right, Andrew, I'm going to give it to you. Stalling with too much rudder. The actual answer is high angle of attack stall with yaw. Someone tell me what static stability refers to. Excellent, Ruben. You are. Oh, hang on. I think Josh did actually get it before you did. Sorry about that, Ruben. Excellent answer, Ruben, though. But yeah, Josh did actually take a short answer, but he did get it first. Okay, my next question, pulling from the hip here. Define advection fog. Warm ground of cool air, that is correct. Nope, my mistake. Apologies, that is incorrect. It's actually cool air over a warm surface. Nick, you did get it correct. Sorry about that, Ruben. All right, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break while I get some new questions because I just ran out. Thought it was going to take a little longer.
Beverage break.
So, who's in here are real pilots?
I am.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm working on my commercial right now.
Nice, nice. I'm actually getting ready for my check ride for my PPL, but I'm also
too.
looking for. I'm looking to buy a plane right now, so
I'm definitely not doing that.
trying to find someone that's selling a plane, or if any of you guys know anyone that is selling a plane, if you could text me a message.
What
Where are you
area you
doing
in?
your flight training?
What happened?
Where are you doing your flight training?
In Florida,
Okay.
but I'm willing to
Central Florida?
travel to pick it up. So
Are you in North Florida by chance?
I'm in Orlando near St. Cloud, but I'm actually flying and doing my flight training with D&J Aviation in Apopka.
I was gonna ask if you're doing it with Orlando Flight School. That's what I'm with.
Uh, Executive.
Yeah, I fly out of executive.
That's where I did my first flight, my first discovery flight.
Funny enough, I did my first discovery flight in a Popco.
Nice. Well, believe it or not, I actually had to leave a school in Merritt Island, Florida, because let's just say I paid the whole course and they were asking me for more money. And then I had
Ew.
I had one instructor that was always cursing me out, telling me if I'm retarded, am I stupid, and forcefully taking the plane, going up and down with it, saying nothing's gonna happen when the plane's gonna stall. Get out of that fear. But yeah, I left the school because no instructor should be actually having to curse at your student. It's not professional.
It's not professional, and in fact, the instructor did a big disservice to you as a result. So I'm glad that you did leave that school. What a shame.
I lost money on it. Almost $15,000
Oh my god.
gone.
Yep.
And basically went to another flight school, and guess what? Found out that they were saying I was ready for my check ride, go to the other flight school in Apopka. They were like, so you're missing some night flight, you're missing a little bit of cross country, you're missing foggle time, IFR flying. And I'm like, oh, good to know. And they were ready to, I was going to fail either way with that instructor and that flight school in Merritt Island. But now that I got it all squared away, I'm good to go. I'm happy. So,
You
There
fly
you
out of
go.
you fly out
Yeah,
of
that's a
Orlando,
crazy
Popco?
story.
Apopka, yeah. There's first landings, and then you also have D&J Aviation up in Apopka.
Yeah. Okay. I got a buddy who's doing first landings. He's going for his commercial right now.
Nice. I just did a flight. What? Month ago, 2 months ago, I did a flight.
I'm
Of
flying
the
out of Jax, and I did my PPL and instrument at a school that had like some really sketch airplanes for overpriced, and I just switched. I'm flying TAA aircraft now for much less than I was paying for these like steam gauge junkers.
Oh yeah, don't get me
And
wrong.
there's
I'm the
nothing wrong with
analogs I'm used
steam
to.
gauges. I love my steam gauges.
I'm used to the analogs. I mean, I prefer analog than glass. Don't get me wrong, glass cockpit is all nice, but since I've flown analog, I like analog better.
I don't know,
100%.
I'm not criticizing Steam Gauge. I'm criticizing the planes themselves, the mechanic. The there was poor maintenance done on these aircraft.
You know,
Oh, that's pretty fair.
you guys want to hear something funny that happened to me when I was doing my flight training in Merritt Island? My very first solo, I take off. Everything's going fine. Do one touch and go. Come back around. As I'm on final, there's a pelican. I end up hitting the pelican, damaging the wing. The wing spars inside. A big dent. The whole plane, I was on slow speed coming in, about 500 feet, and the plane just dropped. I quickly put the left aileron, gave a little bit of throttle back, landed the plane. My instructor was the first thing that comes out of my instructor's mouth was laughing, and he's like, "Hey, Jose, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like worried about the bird. He's like, "Don't worry about the damn bird. Fly the plane and land."
That was your
Very,
first
Aviate.
experience of bird strike right there.
it's a very
And
Florida story.
yeah, and then and as soon as I landed, all I saw on the wing, because inside the cockpit, the glass, it's bubbled a little bit. All I saw was a big dent from inside. It just made it look huge. But when I got out the plane, I'm like, oh, it doesn't look that bad. But from inside, it looked bad.
Oh, that's a crazy story. All right, and with that, we're gonna welcome back to trivia. Got some new questions for you. These ones are gonna be a little more difficult. Some of them might be a little more difficult. Some of them might be a little easier. Who knows? We'll start with the first one. What best description of ground effect? All right, Benjamin. Looks like you have the best answer out of all of them so far. What it is it's a reduction of drag caused by the presence of ground, reducing the downwash behind the wing. So yes, you're pushing air down, hits the ground, and yeah, it does reduce your induced drag, which is what causes lift and which causes you to float on your landings. Of course, the flight simulator does not very well simulate ground effect, but we can only do with what we got. So yes, Benjamin, I'm going to give you that one. All right, moving right along. What is the environmental lapse rate? Very good, Nick. 2 degrees. And what is the dry adiabatic lapse rate? Excellent, Josh. Very fast finger. Oh, sorry, Nick. You did get it first. Gotta have those fingers on the trigger. When an aircraft is equipped with controllable pitch propeller, full fine pitch is used when? Benjamin, yes, you did get it. Takeoff right there, just slightly before Nick got his answer in. The most commonly recommended practice for reducing the risk of dirt and water entering the engine is to a lot of great answers there, but still not the correct one. All right, sorry, I think we're going the wrong direction. Is actually to strain the fuel from the lowest points in the system prior to each flight. Here's a fun one for those of us that like to fly over the mountains. When the air temperatures are well below the ICAO standard during a flight over mountainous terrain, the pilot needs to be aware of what? Josh, you are absolutely correct. It is the cold air temperature correction because the indicated will be higher than the true altitude. Remember, from warm to cold, look out below. The conditions that will reduce the aircraft's takeoff and climb performance to the greatest degree would be. There we are, Ruben. You got it. All three of them. Perfect. High temperature, high density, and moisture. Here's an easy one. What's the difference between a controllable pitch propeller and a constant speed prop? Yeah, Ruben, I'm going to give it to you. Sorry, Gary, you got it correct. Pitch change is the correct answer. Here's a fun one for those that like to fly old aircraft. The first indication of possible carb ice for aeroplane fixed with a fixed pitch propeller would be what? You are absolutely correct, Ruben. Hang on, Nick. Nick, you got it right. My mistake, Nick. You do get a reduction in RPM before anything else happens. If you get rough engine rumming, you might want to think about getting the carb heat on very quickly because your engine's going to stall out at some point very soon. All right, here's a fun one. When gliding into a headwind, the glide range will be blank and the glide endurance will be blank as compared to the zero wind situation. Uh, you only get one answer, Benjamin. And I'll only take your first one. So many close answers. All right, looks like this one isn't working out too well. The answer is your glide range will be reduced and your endurance will be the same. The appearance of cirrus, cirrostratus, altostratus, nimbostratus in succession over an aerodrome normally indicates that. Bruce, you're absolutely correct. A warm from is approaching. The best part is writing quick and then getting the words wrong. Okay, so you got a windsock at the end of the runway, which don't work the best in flight sim. However, your windsock is hanging about 30 degrees below the horizontal. What wind strength is that approximately? All right, Josh, you got it. It's 5 knots. It's actually 6 knots according to my Transport Canada guideline, but we'll go with 5. That's good. What conditions are necessary for the formation of a thunderstorm? Ruben, you are correct. You got a source of rising air, you have moisture, and, well, turbulence as a result of it. But yes, that is the correct answer. Instead of turbulence, should be unstable air. That's definitely the fun friend that comes along for the party. All right. The maximum tail wheel speed for takeoff or landing may be determined by I give you the book, yeah, definitely. They give you some multiple guess answers here. 1, maximum tire rotation speed. 2, stalling speed of the aircraft. 3, maximum speed for landing gear operations, or VLO. Or D, stability restrictions. Unfortunately, you're all wrong. The correct answer is maximum tire rotation speed. I know that's a very interesting one. I got that one wrong on my written exam too. It's counterintuitive.
Which number was that on that question?
That was number 1, Serge. You got it right, but you're not getting any points.
Okay.
All right. What instruments are normally powered by the vacuum pump in a light aircraft? Josh, you are correct. It is the attitude indicator and the heading indicator. Okay, that's round 1. Now we're going to go along to round 2. These are going to be a little more interesting. I'm going to read the description, and you just write what the question is, or I'm going to give you the answer, and you write the question. Yeah. Here's the first answer. The theoretical position of an aircraft at a given location. It's air vector, heading, and true airspeed, and dead reckoning position.
Can you repeat the answer?
The theoretical position of the aircraft given its wind triangle, air vector, heading, true airspeed, and dead reckoning position. Gary, I'm going to give this one to you. It's about the closest one that is the true answer. The true answer is actually the air position. I don't know if that's a Transport Canada thing. I'd never heard of it before until I did my training. But yeah, we'll go with the estimated position because that's essentially what it is. All right, the next answer is this causes stable air, low visibility, and possible drizzle. Cumulonimbus is definitely not right. This causes stable air, low visibility, possible drizzle. Thank you very much, Gary. It is a temperature inversion. All right, keeping on the weather front. See what I did there? This term is used for a long line of thunderstorms, which is generated due to a cold front approaching rapidly. Very good. A squall line is the correct answer, Nick. Excellent. I don't know what your first answer was there, but I'm gonna. Oh, you got to answer it in the form of a question.
I did. I did the second time.
This is the most dangerous thing about a cumulonimbus cloud. Flying through a cumulonimbus cloud, the most dangerous thing. Excellent. It is the downdrafts. Thank you, Nick. This moves forwards on the wing as you approach a stall. I'm going to assume that that definitely means center pressure. Yes, Gary, that is correct. What is the center of pressure? This can be caused with small temperature and dew point spread, and the pilot should be on alert for it in cold temperatures. Excellent, Ruben. What is icing? All right, we're going to get into some METAR questions here. I'm going to read the METAR very slow. Actually, you know what? I'm going to type out the METAR, and then I'm going to ask the question. No, I'm not going to type out the METAR. I'm just going to read it. Okay. Here we are in Winnipeg. Forget the time. 13006 knots, 6 statute miles, light snow, broken 120, broken 090. Tempo 1500-1502, 3/4 statute mile, light snow. What does the tempo mean? I got to type this out next time. Yeah, you are absolutely correct, Benjamin. I kind of gave it away. What does the temporary mean? Yeah, it's temporary. It's temporary conditions, less than 30%. I'm not going to do any more of those. Those are really hard questions to try and ask.
Who got that one, Josh?
Benjamin got that one.
He didn't.
No
He didn't
question.
ask that as a question.
It's Josh.
I took extra time to type that out right.
Yeah, Josh got that one because he typed it in the form of a question.
All right, we'll give that one to Josh.
We're competitive here, can't you tell?
Absolutely. Okay. On a this
What is brain fart?
yeah, well, I'm trying to answer. I'm trying to ask the answer without giving away the question, which is it's not the easiest thing. I'm just going to ask the question. You're looking at a meteorological chart, and you see over a certain area the letters CAT. What does that mean? Yes, Josh, that is correct. What is clear air turbulence? All right, here's another fun question for you. This line represents 0 variation from true north. Josh, no, that is not correct. It is not an isogonic line. Those are lines of equal pressure. All right,
You
the
could
answer
wait,
is, Nick, are you typing? Nope. Yes, that is true. Isogonic lines is correct for that answer. You are correct. However, the answer I'm looking for is the agonic line, which is the zero variation between. There it is, Ruben. You said it. After I did, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
He got it before.
Did he get it before? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he,
was
he
Two
typed it.
seconds. 2 seconds before you said it.
perfect. Yes, that is correct. This is the agonic line. Yeah, what is Gemini or Microsoft Copilot? That is correct. All right, this affects the lateral stability of the aircraft. That is correct, Nick. You got the elevator. All right, couple more questions. Then I gotta answer up my numbers.
What about staff questions?
Oh yeah, I got some staff questions. Thanks. I totally forgot about those. Give me a couple seconds here. So I'm just opening another document. Okay, here we go. We got some SCAP questions here for you. Let's have a look here. The director of pilot training, Elliot, has A, B, C, or D. Goats. A, goats. B, raccoons. C, cats. Or D, alpacas. Of course, I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh, I guess I didn't put the answer in there.
All right, so
Goats.
Serge, you get to okay, goats. So who was the first one to get that one? A. Looks like Josh was the first one to get that. Okay. Excellent. All right, moving on to the next one. Chief Eric, Chief Information Officer, acts as A, B, C, or D, a taxi driver, airplane mechanic, sushi chef, or commercial pilot.
Gary got it. Gary got it. It's B.
All right, your very special host tonight lives where? A, Canada, B, Hawaii, C, Alaska, or D, New Zealand? Jeez, that came up quick. Who got that one first? It came up too fast.
Ruben.
Ruben, excellent. And ironically, I actually was born in New Zealand, so anyone who would have said that might have got it true, might have got that one correct. All right, next question. Our number one position on the leaderboard is currently occupied by A, Stephen, B, Rob, C, Lena, D, or D, Dylan. I think Josh got that one right. It's still Lena, right?
Nope, it's Dylan.
Oh, Dylan's number one now. Oh, I haven't looked at it in the last couple of days.
So who's that?
Bruce, did you get that one first?
Is Dylan D?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Bruce got it.
All right, two more questions. True or here's true false. We'll do that one first. True or false? The Pilot Club founder ran a trucking sim club before Pilot Club. I'm gonna go with Ruben got that one first. Oh
Hey,
no, Gary, he got a T.
Yay.
Okay.
American Truck Simulator.
Hey, I got
Yeah,
two.
I used to play that too.
Wait, the answer is false. Who said
What?
that true?
Everybody said
we
true.
all said true.
I assumed it was true. Gary, yeah, you got it false. No, everyone got it wrong.
Everybody got it wrong.
Everybody loses 10 points.
But I like that answer better.
All right, final question of the night. The nonprofit corp. Hang on, what are we doing here? Where's the question? Oh, there it is. The Pilot Club Inc. is a for-profit corporation, B, nonprofit corporation. TPC will be exhibiting this year's expo, FSS Expo, at a booth.
Wait,
Oh my
that's
God.
another question.
Hang on, I got 3 questions here. Take all that back. Okay, last question. I promise. TPC will be exhibiting this year's expo at booth A 801, B 901, C 504, or D 69.
I think Andrew got it first, I believe.
Yeah, but you don't get to say 903 or 901.
Oh, I
Okay,
did it
90
beforehand.
903
I did
wasn't
it
an
even
answer.
before.
Yeah, when you started reading the question as part of the other question. So I think Andrew got it.
Sorry about that. That was my bad. All right, Andrew got it? All right, perfect. All right, here we go. So, interesting tally of points. We know who the strong knowledge people are. The difference between the 1, 2, and 3 positions was only 1 point. 2 and 3 was actually a tie. So I'll give you the 2 and 3 positions. Pilot Club 182, Gary, and Pilot Club 23, Josh. Excellent, second and third place. The number 1 position was not Andrew or Bruce. It was, in fact, not Ruben with 7 points. Who wants to know? I'm just going to give it away. It was Nick. Congratulations, Nick. 11 points.
Nice. Congrats. Well done.
Can I make a little icon here of a dancing person?
Yeah.
Did I finish 4th?
3350. Benjamin, you got 4th, actually, surprisingly.
I got 2 points. Yay!
You got 3 points, Andrew.
3.
I just got to say, everyone did really well tonight. Some of those questions were super hard, and yeah, I'm super impressed. I think everyone here is doing an excellent job flying with the club and flying on VATSIM. And for those of us that are pilots, and for those of you that are getting your PPLs, and those of us that are almost at our CPLs, and those that are, especially you, Josh, that have just moved. You just moved on to 737, haven't you?
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah, so I mean, awesome job by everyone here. You know, so every one of us should be proud of ourselves and our accomplishments.
Great hosting.
Thanks,